Hey everyone, welcome to episode 107, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I finally found my book. The current book. The book's changed. This is how far we are through it. With my notes so that I can make notes and remember what I'm doing next time. There is a cat on the move on the bed, and there is a dog at my feet, which means we are ready to be recording this episode. I'm a little tired. Just a little. Hit the point in my pregnancy where I don't actually get to do much except pee. That was the first half, and I guess that will be the last half, and everywhere in between. So, sleeping. I sleep a lot. I nap a lot, and that is what I do. What are you doing, mouse? Are you being a mouse? Mouse is mousing, as we call it in the house. The house is full of mouse. But due to her eye issue, she is not a graceful kitty at all. There's no grace whatsoever in this cat. But she has found a window and she is now happy. I apologize, there's no makeup going on. That was a level I could not achieve, so I look a bit, but it's better than nothing, correct? I am wearing, what am I wearing? This is the Sunset Highway cardigan. And it still fits. FYI, if you do it with enough ease, if you do it to spec, and I don't even think I did it to spec, I did it a little under, you can comfortably wear it at 7.5 months pregnant. Yes, you can. Third trimester, all the way. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to wear this thing. Really, mouse? Really? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, or you're gonna knock everything over. That's what you're gonna do. Miss Mouse. Not staying with me. So, yes, I knit this out of Diamond Luxury sock yarn. Diamond Yarn Luxury. And it's comfy and it's great, and I blocked it. The only thing is the neck is a little high for my liking on the front. But that'll even out with wear, right? Right? I tell myself. I had a blocking party and a weaving in the ends party with myself. FYI, blocking is not easy any longer. And because I have a bunch of clothes, I have a bunch of knitwear that needs to be washed and blocked for the season. I had the Nilchik Swan Show, also by Caitlin Hunter. This is by Caitlin Hunter, who is Boyland Knitworks, I believe. And I've had that one knit for a while. I wove in the ends. I blocked it. It's drying. It's going to take forever at this point because I live in the Pacific Northwest. And I re-blocked my pomme de pin because the last time I wore it I was ill and I wanted to make sure that it was washed and blocked. And then I have a couple other sweaters that I like to throw into the rotation that just, it's their time to be washed and reblocked. So, that has been what's been going down in terms of things getting done on this end. I haven't woven in the ends and I haven't blocked it yet, but I finished something. And I finished something quite large, which is the Enchanted Mesa by Stephen West. And it looks a hot mess unless it's laying on the floor or on my body. So there you have it. And so up here, and it's all out of hand spun. So up here we have the wet swoopy wedges, the swooping, if you will. And then we go into the body. And at the bottom, I did extra rows because I was worried it wasn't going to be long enough. It's long enough. I can comfortably wear it right now, and it's tight, and I suspect it'll just be huge and loose afterwards. If I get too concerned, I can always throw it in the washer and the dryer for a minute. Tighten it up a bit. And the sleeves. I didn't do very long sleeves because I tend to either With these ones, like these ones fit to about here, unless I'm moving my arms a lot, which I currently am. But I tend to pull them up anyway to be 3/4 length. So when I tried it on, the actual sleeve portion came down to my elbow because, you know, this is stylistic. So I wanted something that would only come to my wrist so that there wasn't too much bunching. And yeah, pretty proud. Loads of hand spun in here. Spunky Eclectic, Into the World. I can't remember the name of this one. And I think I lost the tag, but I like it. I have enough left over that I'm probably going to do a baby sweater. This is the first draft. Just fibers on the body. I forget what this is. I should know. It's either Into the World or something else. And then this body portion here, which I have a lot left over of, is Spunky Eclectic. And the first draft is the ribbing. And I picked, and the black is just odds and ends that I had. It was a mini skein I made, and then I just interspersed it there. I picked all of the skeins I had that were probably a DK weight, and I used a US 10 6mm needle. It's a 6mm needle, which I believe is a US 10. And yeah, it was great. It was quick. It was easy. I have been asked if it's something that a beginner could do, and my question is then, what do you feel comfortable with? Because there's a lot of wraps and turns. So if you're comfortable with wrapping and turning, you should be good. It's just purls and knits and a couple yarn overs. There's a few pickups, but really it's not a lot, but you have to be comfortable with trusting in a pattern, which you learn the hard way from Stephen West, or you learn the hard way from Elizabeth Zimmerman. Either way, those two people, when you're knitting their stuff, you really have to trust the pattern because they know what they're doing. But if you can do that and you don't mind short rows and stuff like that, you're fine. And so, yeah, I will weave in the ends and wash and block it at some point. With the space I have, I'm doing like 2 sweaters at a time currently. And so, yeah, it might be a while, but I'm okay with that. I have to be. That's the downfall of knitting things. They cannot get thrown in the washer and the dryer, people. It's a downfall. Because you go to wash them, and you can wash them. You could probably wash them on a delicate cycle too. I wouldn't throw the hand spun in, but like the sweater I'm currently wearing, it can be washed and dried. Although I probably would lay it flat to dry, just because that's who I am. But it's a commercial spun yarn, and it's got a high acrylic nylon content in it. Also a high superwash wool, but that's fine. And so I wouldn't feel so bad about throwing this one in the washer dryer. But anything that's out of like hand dyed or what have you, I just don't like throwing it in the dryer. Washing machine fine, dryer not so fine. Which means when the season rolls around, I either end up washing and blocking everything, and because we use, we have, pregnancy brain is what we have. We have a wood stove. We do not use power or energy or whatever it's called. We have baseboard heating, electric, which we do not use that often because we have the wood stove. So that can mean taking a little longer for everything to dry. So, yeah, fun times. In my Stitchin' Narwhal bag, we're now into the works in progress. That's where we're going. That's where we're headed. That's where we're going. That's where we're at. In my Stitchin' Narwhal bag, which I adore. And she's leaving me. She's moving. Gotta love. It's the military life. Everyone PCS's, permanent change of station. That's just how life goes. And so my two best friends that I had in the area are like, one moved in February, and now my narwhal's moving, and yeah, but she'll be out in Colorado. Anyway, sadness to not have her around. But in the bag from our collab, I have my Desert Vista Dyework socks for the month, which is this, which is the Orca colorway. I'm using the Viso base, which is the 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And I'm using a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, magic looping the whole way, because that's what I do. 64 stitches, because that's what I'm comfortable with when it comes to my socks, and these are definitely for me, because last month's were for the hubby. And I have just put on the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And I see why everyone does it, because it's super easy, and then you don't have to worry about weaving in ends, and you don't have to worry about picking up stitches, and I'm just going to keep doing it because it's easy. And I've now memorized it. It only took a little bit. But I have the leg done, the ribbing, the leg, and the heel of the first sock. Which is not that bad, considering it's like, what, the 9th? The 9th of November? It's not bad at all. I knit most of this when we went to see Venom last weekend. Yes. I know I casted it on for Venom. I knit a little bit, and then I almost fell asleep in the movie theater, which has nothing to do with the movie. It has everything to do with the fact that I now fall asleep at the drop of a hat. But Venom was pretty good. I know it didn't get very high marks on Rotten Tomatoes, but gotta have my theater knitting. Theater knitting and popcorn. That's how I roll, yo. Then, I'm not sure if I showed you guys this. I'm not sure where I was in this last time I showed you, from Expectant Little Knits. I am knitting a sweater that most definitely can go in the washer and dryer, because I'm not crazy, and I know the predilection small human beings have for pooping and puking on people. And this one is called the Deauville Car Coat by A.L. du Sauveterre. Looks a little something like that. There's the back. So it's super huge, it's oversized, it's long, it's warm, it's comfy. Well, I need warm. I'm just at the point where I can wear like a sweater and not pour sweat down. So we'll see. But I have the back done. The back is done. This is the back, which doesn't look that big, right? Like, 'cause this is my size, right? It's actually a little bit smaller than my size, but I figured whatever, I can just add ribbing. But you do a massive amount of ribbing. There's like 10 inches of ribbing all the way around, which I suspect is going to be the longest portion of knitting this sweater. But, is this the top? Yeah, this is the top. This is, yeah, the shoulders cast off. So we've got the top all the way down, and there's a little bit of rump shaping. Some rump shaking going on in here. You have a little vroop. Some vroop. I know, I've got a double chin and a vroop at the bottom there, but it's all done. And I have put my stitch markers in places, that removable stitch markers, because it tells you to put them in there. For the back, so the back is done. That's one part. And I started the front right side as opposed to the front left side. I am using, see, that's the downfall, these are huge needles. US 9 5.5 millimeter needle. And I'm also using a really long cord because I am eventually going to need the really long cord, so I figured I'd just start with it because why the heck not? And this is as far as I've gotten. Because the sides, so this is the right side, so it goes, as you can see, I really enjoy this color. I didn't even notice that. The shade of blue is very my style. But yes, that's where I'm at. And the reason I've only got this far is because in the pattern, it does this thing. And this is being knit out of Sidar Super Soft Aran, which is 100% acrylic, machine washable, went the whole way down there. And I got this from Webs, which is yarn.com, and I think I paid less than $25 for enough to do this huge massive coat out of Aran weight yarn. So clutch your pearls. And so the reason I have stalled out on this one is my brain power, and the way the pattern is written. It has you doing the one side, you go increasing, and then on the other side you start to decrease for the, I don't even know why, if this is for pregnancy, you're going in at the waist. Why are you going in at the waist? There's nothing to go, it goes out, people. There should be more expansion, but that's neither here nor there. They have you go in, a little bit of waist shaping. It's like 4 stitches you waist shape, and then you but you've got to do them at the same time, and it says at the same time. So I have to have my little post-it note that has like the numbers for each, and I have to do them on both sides, you know, and it's just, I have to keep track of a lot of things, and I don't want to. I just don't want to. I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, no, I want an easy thing here. An easy thing, please. But it's going along. I suspect I will have it done before I give birth, and that's the only thing I'm really shooting for at this point. FYI, pumpkin spice coffee creamer is out. It just makes me happy. Okay. Don't do the pumpkin spice lattes. That's not my thing. If it's your bag, more power to you. It affects my stomach in a nasty way, but I can get away with 1 or 2 shots of creamer. So, and then, as you have seen before, it's back again. The Cozy Neighborhood by Joji Locatelli, which I'm knitting on US 7s, which is a 4.5mm needle. I'm using high sharps. I've gotten a couple more repeats in of the main cable pattern there. Woo! Not much to report there. You keep doing the exact same thing for like ever, and my for like ever is getting somewhere, but I'm not even halfway down the body at this point, and I think this knit along ends at the end of the month. It's not going to be done. Why do I even bother? Why? I mean, I suck at completing knit alongs, and this is like the weirdest point to be trying to knit along. Apparently I have schmutz. I don't even know how I got schmutz in here. Thanks, Mouse. I assume it's Mouse. Mouse is the only one who's like running around doing things. Could be worse. I could find like mice from Mouse. She is the little play mice. So I am using, this is the Haida colorway. It's Blue Moon Fiber Arts in the BFL Sport. And yeah. It's not as bright as it's coming out to be. It's probably that bright. Shades of blues, overdyed with a black. It's very pretty. I like it. I have a crap ton of it, so I'm not worried. This is the first skein, and I have 3. So, yeah, we're getting somewhere. It's just going to take me forever. You're going to see this one forever. And I think it's because of the pattern. Because it is, it's a broken rib kind of deal going on there, which can get a little taxing in terms of entertainment value. Like, so when you hit just solid stockinette or solid garters, like knit one round, purl one round, or knit, and either way you get to those, they're very zen. But when you're constantly like knit 2, purl 2, and then you've got your cable in the middle, it does have a bit of interest, but it also, like, again, brain power. And the Great Canadian Baking Show, which is the Canadian version of the Great British Baking Show, just had its finale. And let me tell you, you can't knit through that. That's like a nail biter. Although Andre won. Spoiler. If you're not following, sorry. and I was very happy. Very happy. He was one of my faves. So, in my Schnuffeltier bag, I pulled this back out again because I wanted something. I'm in a finishing mood, but I don't have anything that is of a rational size to be able to finish quickly. If that makes any sense to you, this is probably the closest thing I have to finishing, which is why I pulled it out. And this is I'm calling it my breastfeeding schlanket. Just so I can say the word breast a few times. It comes from Elizabeth Zimmerman's Knitter's Almanac. This is one iteration of it. I know it comes also in like a hardcover. Like, there's so many different versions. This is the February square shawl for some baby things. So you will find it with the February baby sweater, etc. February baby sweater comes from this, which eventually got turned into the February ladies sweater. And so I am using Knitter's Nightmare, the Prairie Sunset Gradient bundle, of which there are still some in the shop if you want. This is the supersized version. I think all the supersized versions are sold out. But the regular shawl size is still there, and there are some sweater sizes. So here's where I'm at. Because I am using a US 6, which is a 4mm needle, if I am correct, possibly. Hold on. A 6 is a 4mm needle. Okay. I should just leave that there so I know it's there. And I just finished fading in the last color, which looks a little something like this. It's got some purpley pink, some pinkety pink, and some browns. This is actually the last color, which is browns with hints of gold, but this is going to be the border around the whole edge. It's got an applied knit-on border. So color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4, and yeah. It's just going to be a big old schlanket, nothing special. Something I can throw over us when I am doing my business, or something I can throw on the ground if I want to lay him down for whatever reason, or if he wants to play on the ground, because this thing's going to last forever. And yeah, I'm digging it. I figure I can get away with the amount of pink and purple in here just fine, because it's doing double duty, and for the most part will probably be over me. So there you have it. Yeah. So I'm on to the last color, and it's just finishing off the last color and putting on the border, which is why I picked it back up. So I spent last night striping out the last, or fading out the previous color to this one. Got that done. There's not a lot here to go, and then I suspect that the knit-on edging is the one that's going to get me, and it's going to take the longest, but whatever. So there's that, which just makes me happy to think I could have something else done. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to show you done things, like, all the time? I would love to be able to. I want to be one of those people who has stuff done, but I'm not that person all the time. Just wait. I'm thinking of doing some holiday knitting for my nieces and nephew, and doing some hats, and that would be quick, and that would be like, here's some finished objects. But that remains to be seen. We'll see. Anything I do, I'm just going to wait and send home with my mom after she's been here for the birth. So, let me just double check here. Yeah, Yes, I have done everything except for my haul. I have a little bit of haul. Guys, are you ready to blow your minds? I have haul. How often do I have haul these days? Not very often. I can't wait for Christmas, though. Christmas, hopefully, big haul. I've been trying to be good. I may have also pulled a sweater's quantity of fiber so that I can do a combo spin. Just saying. There might be a combo spin on my horizon. But my friend Nitty and Color was running a Halloween sale, and I love Nitty and Color. I know I only have like 6 or so skeins. Nitty and Color, another crafty girl. These are my home slices. And so she was running a 20% off Halloween shebang, and I couldn't say no because I love her colors, and they're so insane. Like, they are completely insane, and that's why I love them. So I picked up Witch Please, which is on acoustic sock, which is 80/20 superwash merino nylon. Like, I mean, look at that. Look at that. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know if it should be socks because it's so bright. And maybe it needs to be a cowl, or maybe one of those sockhead hats, like a really loose sockhead hat so you can wear it all the time, or what have you. But I don't know, I just needed it. I needed it, and that very rarely happens to me. So I figured, go with your hormones, girl. Go with them. And then, you know, why just buy one when you've got a good sale going on? So I picked up Bamboozled, and Bamboozled is on the hardcore sock, which is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. And, like, I mean, look at that. It doesn't necessarily, like, I mean, yes, it's a Halloween colorway, and it kind of does scream Halloween a bit, but it also screams, I am awesome. Like, look at the speckling and flecking in this. It sounds dirty when I say that, speckling and flecking, doesn't it? It sounds like I'm talking about bad things. Well, not bad things, but other things. I just, like, look at that. Look at this. Like, her colorways blow my mind on a regular, and yeah, no, I had to have it. I will probably stock up before I move to Canada so that I don't have to pay a postage, but yeah, no. Yummy yarn. And I couldn't resist. So there you have it. And she's got Christmas colorways coming out soon. Just saying. If you're into Christmas colorways, I am not so much, but if you are, I like Halloween colorways. Like, you can give them to me any time of the year. Hello, Miss Mew. Minnie Mew? Yeah, no. She doesn't care that it's me. She prefers my husband. And I can't blame her. Really can't. Meow. I put things over the one thing she likes to sleep on the bed, because it's the fuzzy baby cover. It goes over the car seat. And she's decided she loves it. And I washed it, and I don't want her to be on it, so I put some fabric that I want to make a quilt out of, and she's not impressed with me. That's everything I've gotten done in the last little bit. I will be coming at you, hopefully, in the next week or two. As always, expect 2 weeks. If I get a good big finish, maybe I'll show you. Maybe I'll come back in a week. The 2-week timeline is really working for me because it allows me to actually get stuff done and give you a longer podcast. If you're anything like me, I prefer the longer ones, because then I can sit back and watch it as opposed to, like, constantly having to flip. And that's just how I roll. But I will keep everyone in the loop. If you want to find me on Instagram, I am Sadieruin. I'm Blue Ruin on Ravelry. The group for the podcast is Yarnivorous. And yeah, I will see everybody in a little bit. Bye.